Yo, this is Tone Kapone, and you're getting lifted to the sounds of my DJ, DJ Spaceship. Go ahead and beam him up, boy. Let's get him, get him, get him, get him, get him, get him.
Greetings and salutations from us to all the nations. We're about to get loose, strictly for entertainment. We're reppin' Tampa Bay, 10 toes down. It's waves of the bay. No, we ain't playing around. Saturdays from 10 to 12. Make sure you ride the wave. It's Tone Kapone and DJ Spaceship on your airwaves. We're mixing interviews, R&B and hip hop. We're blasting off, and the top is just a pit stop.
Now, I kind of wanted to follow up on that one right there. I want this Tone Kapone, by the way, man. That's a major point because I've been watching like the whole Versus series. You know what I'm saying? And like how they're just giving people a chance to actually pay attention to these groups that they may have not been familiar with. You know what I'm saying? So like when it comes to the Goodie Mob, like I think that would be a golden opportunity for people to reconnect with what you guys are about, because what y'all were talking about back then is still relevant right now, man. So, you know, with that being said, like,
yeah,
if y'all,
what we do?
Go ahead. If y'all were, who would you go against?
Only people that can, the only people that I would feel like we could be put in the room with is our elders, and that's Public Enemy. Nobody, I don't really, not from the material. You know what I mean? When you can go fight the power and then go just about crazy. You know, I got rock songs too. We did that too. So it's like that's the level that I would do it on, because see, what people don't understand is that before Gip got into the business, that was always my favorite group, Chuck D and Ice-T. Well, before I got in the business, I used to work at Red Lobster in East Point. And I remember one day I was singing this song, and he said, "Man, you like Public Enemy, huh?" I said, "Yeah, man, I really do like Public Enemy." He said, "Man, they coming to town next week. You want to meet them?" I'm like, "Yeah." He said, "Hey, man, my name Mike. Professor Griff, my little brother." He took me to the concert. That was the first night I got to see the Fresh Fest, man. I got to see LL Cool J. I got to see Rakim when he was on the goddamn on the pyramid, spinning around in the chair and shit, like EPMD. It was great. Like Public Enemy was goddamn, they was goddamn headlining. And I remember we was standing in the back waiting on Chuck, man. I'm like a little kid, just like, damn, waiting on Santa Claus, man. Chuck pulled up in the goddamn taxi and jumped out that hole. And I was like, damn, like the humbleness. That man headlining. Man showed up in the taxi. You know what I mean? Like, I was just like, damn. So just imagine me meeting Chuck that night, getting into the business, and he got them like, damn, you the same little kid. But then on top of that, me being at the DMV one day on the South Side getting my license. And I turned around, I was like, damn, that look like Chuck D. Like, and goddamn it was Chuck D. He said, "Gip, since Mike moved here, man, I started coming down here ever since." See, what they don't know is Jam Master Jay used to stay on the South Side. He used to always be here all the time. Like, you see Jam Master Jay just in 20 grand somewhere. Like, what you doing in the hole in the wall? Like,
right.
Like, but he was like one of them. Jam Master Jay was just a street period. I'm just on some street like, that's it. I ain't with no bougie leather hats and ghetto. So we would always see Jam Master Jay. You know what I mean? So just in Atlanta alone, like as a kid, like I would go to Greenbrier, and I remember when Cameo blew up, and we started seeing this. We used to see Mr. Blackman just driving around in E Point in the Ferrari with the flat. And we'd be like, damn, he lived. He'd be like, yeah. So just imagine us when we get the budget for goddamn soul food, and Reek like, yo, well, y'all, we like, damn, okay, we did Players Ball. Now it's time to work on soul food. What we gonna do it? Rick was like, "We gonna do it at Curtis Mayfield house," and we were kind of like, "Huh?" Huh? He was like, "Yeah, Curtis Mayfield stay on Camden Road." I'm like, "Huh?" It's like, wait a minute, man. So we go across Camden Road, not too far from Greenbrier. Boom, we go to this little house. We walk in the house. He was like, "Man, this Curtis Mayfield house. This is where he used to come, sneak, and do his music." Right? We walk into this man's bedroom. He still had the original tapes of Superfly in his bedroom.
Wow.
He the one told me. He said he one day he got there. He came through, and he was just like, "Yo, don't y'all never sign no publishing deal until y'all retire." And we didn't even really understand it, but he was giving us game. And you know, I was paying attention to him so much that he kind of got into the liking the gift. So he kind of was like, "Man, come here and with me back in the room." So he took me back in the room. And he's showing me the Superfly. He was like, "Man, everything I ever did, I do it. I keep my own copies. I keep my own. Always keep your master, even if you have to record them yourself, so you'll have a copy."
Right.
He said, "Come here. I want to give you something." I said, "What is it, OG?" And he gave me that sweatsuit that I wore on Soul Food.
Wow. So that sweatsuit came from Mr. Mayfield himself.
That was one
Do
of
you
his
still you still own that sweatsuit?
No, man, you know, too many moves. You know,
Yeah.
man, too many moves. I was so young. And at the same time, like, you know, going from, you know, wearing that sweatsuit and not really knowing where we had a taste of fame. Yeah, we got a platinum record, but still it's different when you still like, it's y'all turn. You know what I mean? So we went into Soul Food so humbly and so like, we gonna just do it feel good. You know what I mean? Because you got to understand, the face was sitting there like, okay, well, we just got all this play ass. We just got out of Outcast. What y'all gonna do? so it was kind of like, damn, you know, first thing Reek and Ray and Sleepy was saying is, it can't sound like Outkast, man.
Yeah.
It can't sound like Outkast. So just imagine that we recording the album, and one day Reek said, "Hey, man, come to the studio." We get to the studio, and I walk in there, dun, 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 dun. We like, dang. Well, a week before that, Reek then was mixing. A week or two before that, they had left Bosstown and went to the Dallas studio to mix a TLC record. Where in the B room was Busta Rhymes and Rampage. Busta Rhymes came out. He started having a real deep conversation with Big Rube. Boom, him and Rube hit it off. He gave Rube a book. The book was Behold of the Pale Horse. When Rube read the book, and then he just said one day, "Hey, everybody read this book." And we all read the book. So just imagine we walk into the studio and it's this dun, 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 dun. And Joe came in, went up, sing, unfold. Joe just took that book, what he got out of that book, and he started Cell Therapy. And it was like, when everybody walked in the studio, from their interpretation of that book, we wrote our verses to it. And man, Cell Therapy was born, man.
I'm in the middle of Kansas. I'm from the middle of Kansas, bro. And I remember when that song came out, that thing like took over. It took over my city, at least, man. Like I just like, and it's been 25 years, man, and all this stuff is still relevant right now. That's what's the crazy part about it, man. But I remember where I was at the first time I heard that song. I think I had the tape single somewhere around this house somewhere, bro.
Wow. I mean, we did that day. The next day we came back, Reek had said, "Hey man, go get Breeze." Drop Breeze off. He called me back. Dirty South. When we finished Dirty South, that was the end of Soul Food. So Dirty South and Cell Therapy was the last 2 songs we did on that album.
Both legendary tracks. Both legendary tracks on a classic album. I won't even say it's a Southern classic album. It's a classic album, period. You know, like you had Soul Food, then you had Still Standing. Like Still Standing was that's just Goodie Mob on steroids to me. You know,
man,
like y'all took that thing to that next level. Like that's one of the albums that I felt should have got 5 mics, and it didn't.
Because they perfected the wheel with that one right there.
Yeah, you could just let track 1 run all the way to the end of the album, and everything it was perfectly placed. The production was on point. The bars was on point. Like everything fit perfectly where it was supposed to fit on Still Standing. And it was a step up from Soul Food. So, I mean, like I said, man, you're part of some albums and songs that's a part of the soundtrack to my life, man. Like I'm a country boy. I'm born and raised in Tampa, Florida, man. And I just appreciate, you know, y'all putting that music out there like that, man. Like it hit home for me.
I'm gonna tell you, man. Just imagine being on tour. We was on tour. We in Miami, Florida. And I remember I had stopped smoking. We wasn't eating no beef. We was on our health then, you know what I mean? And goddamn, how about we about to go #1. Goddamn, they don't dance. Why stop playing with us? We just we on tour with 666 Mafia. We tearing the club up. We got they don't dance. They doing goddamn tear the club up. Tear the club up. So we out the chain. So we kind of like we about to go #1. And that came out, my nigga, and we came in at #2, and we got beat by I Got the Hook Up, my
nigga.
Wow.
My nigga, I was just like, yo, man, we always get robbed, man. Like, we got robbed, man. I Got the Hook Up soundtrack. Holly, if you hear me, I love you people, goddamn. Man, I was sitting there like, man, I ain't mad, P. I love you, man. I swear to God, man. The South don't always be the South, but I just felt like at that time, man, we was representing us on a way more different kind of goddamn spectrum, my nigga. I just felt like I could hear what said. You know what I mean? Like, country, man. You know, that was New Orleans. That was when New Orleans first started emerging. So New Orleans was going through what Atlanta went through at that time.
Right. Not
to take nothing away from P, but I was just like, man, subject matter, man. Come on, man. Going for the bullshit. Man. Like that's how they gonna represent us. That's how they gonna look at us. But since we stepped off that stage at the store, it's like, you be able to call us country because we're going to be better than everything you do, from beats to the rhymes. You ain't got nobody to sing. So we got a secret weapon don't nobody got. And to never, ever get awarded during them times of whooping for 5 years on the stage and always knowing that they got a problem with Goodie Mob, man. Don't care what we do. Kill it in fashion. We kill it in our rhymes. They never gave us nothing, man. Like, and we knew to them, we was some uppity South. Straight up. Because they felt like, where y'all get some knowledge that we ain't know nothing about? So it was almost like a snub, like, we were the Killer Mike then. All 4 of you. Now you all on goddamn Team Summit talking that positive. We on some gangster, some dope dealing. Come on, man. That's what New York was on. They was on the purple tape. David Raquette, Raekwon, they was on the purple tape then. So for them, New York was in the midst of that whole Nas, the Gambino, we all mobsters, and the West Coast was immersed in all the gangsters. You know what I mean? We sitting in the middle of it trying to be like positive, trying to say, no, we ain't that, we ain't this. And the culture was like, nah. That's some of the frustrations that CeeLo felt. That's why 3,000 can walk away and say, hey, man, they gonna always say them the best. So, man, well, I'm gonna go sit down. Just cause I go get a girl and did wham and the couple of moves, he the best. Oh, okay. All right. You gotta understand. Yeah. And he was feeling like, think about this, man. Auto-tune was nowhere to be found before Love Below.
True.
That's what makes, when you do all that and do so much and the culture jump on it, and then, man, I seen we dropped Love Below, man. It was a $50 million tour worldwide, man. That man said, I don't want to go. I'm cool. I'm good.
Wow.
That was his way of getting back at the industry. That was his way of getting back at all the that snubbed us. Like, you and your money.
So do you think, and I know you talked to three, you know, y'all family. Do you think he'll ever give us something, man? Do you think he'll, cast something out there? I mean, you think Outkast ever give us a album?
We came so close. And I don't tell y'all no lie. We came so close about a month ago, man. All of us was in the studio. All of us was right there, man. All of us in the studio. All of us agreed to do an album. And, man, the next morning after we agreed to do the album, the got called to go do a TV show. So we ain't seen him since, man.
3,000?
Yeah, he up in New York. He up in New York I think 3 want to come back, man. He want to, but he don't know, man. You just got to understand, because, it's kind of strange with us, because look at our family, man. Future was our baby.
Yep.
The emergence of Future, that got 3,000 sitting back like, whoa.
I seen a quote that 3,000 said about Future. He said that Future makes the most negative motivational music you can ever find. And when it's like it's crazy when you think about it. It's like, and then you listen to Future music, because I like Future music, and I like his production too. Like, a lot of people be sleeping on Future production, but that production on point.
It is. So, it is, and it's his like you gotta give. I'm gonna give you. I give you two. I would say, to me, it's 2 MVPs in Atlanta that people just gotta respect. You gotta respect Future. Future was in the Connect. Future was in Rico's group of the Last of the Dungeon, the Last Babies. Future was in there. Future was Meathead.
Yep.
Future left there, started with Rocco. Boom. I was going to St. Louis. So just imagine me being on the road with Nelly, man. I'm on there with a 7, 10, 15 million records. I'm like, shit, bro. This boy got pop records. We doing goddamn rodeos in Texas and shit. So, I'm like, I ain't even seen Cash do some of this shit. Goddamn. This something else. But then he went to St. Louis. He came back home. And when he came back home, he said his name was Future. He went in the studio and he did that Dirty Sprite. Now, I'm going to tell you what's so great about that time. You got the emergence of Future. And then you got the goddamn emergence of 2 Chainz. He reinvented himself from Titty Boy to 2 Chainz. So you got to look at, in Atlanta, really, you look at it, that new wave was damn near started by Future, 2 Chainz.
Yeah.
This whole wave that's going on right now, this all Future, 2 Chainz.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. And the one thing I like about the music scene in Atlanta is I see a lot of the OGs still reach out to the new cats out there, the new Thundercats out there, like your Migos and your 2 Chainz and your Futures and and the 21 Savages. And the Gucci's, like a lot of people sleep. Gucci Mane is one of the most slept on A&Rs in the game because he don't put on a lot
Gucci be
of
working, boy. Gucci be working.
Because they ain't gonna give us the credit we do, man. That's why I could prove to you 35,000 times how much better we are than a lot of man. But they gonna get all the credit. You know what I mean?
You ain't gotta fight that fight with me because I already know. Like I grew up on it and I listen to everybody. I watch the game, you see what I'm saying? So I already know what time it is.
Yeah. Anytime it's the South, man, they playing with it, they trying to steal from it. They trying to do everything they can, man. We been put them folk to sleep, man. We put them folk to sleep in the 90s, man. Man, them folk had one crew that came out of New York that goddamn moved something. The last thing came out of New York that moved something was the Dipset. Them had the city on fire.
Yeah. And G-Unit wasn't all from New York. Yeah.
G-Unit to me was different because G-Unit to me was a mixture of things. You had 50 Cent.
Dre.
Yeah, you had Dre, you had 50, you had Eminem, that was that West Coast thing. Think about it, bro. If anybody get treated like Goodie Mob, it's 50 Cent from New York. They act like he ain't did shit. He outsold. They act like he ain't did shit, bro. His whole reign, they act like he ain't do shit. You know why? Because Dre did the music. All the music was West Coast. So New York didn't respect it. Didn't get no Grammys. Didn't get no American Music Award. Didn't get nothing. Overlooked.
That's crazy, man.
For how many albums?
Too many.
That's why at the end of the day, you know who the real gangsters is, or you know who the that went in the room, and then white boys said, "We gonna with you, your and we gonna make you." Okay. Hey. So when you see people like 50 Cent, you see when 50 Cent moved to New York, Jay and Puff moved to LA. Because 50 Cent a real one. He'll fight you. And you can tell by them three men, you know, 50 bro, watch both of them quick. Because he that type of guy. Like when they jumped on Fredro Starr there, at the music at the awards in Long Beach, in Santa Monica, Gippy was standing right there. Cause guess what? Gippy was Young Buck. First time 50 Cent ever came to Atlanta, Young Buck called me, Gippy, 50 Cent coming to Atlanta, man. I need you, man. Okay, I'm pull up. That's how me and 50 met. Always been cool, but he very New Yorkish. So you know how we smell that real quick and be like, boy, stop. Boy, stop.
The Times Square on us.
Yeah, it was like, boy, stop. You better go. I don't see how you deal with all that, Buck, but okay. You know what I mean? But, hey, man, and look what happened at the end of the game, bro. You sold more records than you. The only other outside on G-Unit that sold a platinum record, sold more records than everybody that was on that, and you got treated the worst.
Bruh, Buck was like probably my favorite one on there, honestly, because just like you say, man, like he's the one that we can relate to, dog. Like, and he snapped every time, man. That's crazy you say that, bro.
Ate them, man, and was around there writing that shit for them, man. That's what I be saying. That's why when people say me, you gotta understand, guys, that a lot of these folk that's in power, or who they chose to be in power. See, I know these guys when didn't nobody had nothing. You know what I mean? So for me, I don't look at these guys as how the other people. I ain't no hip hop fan like a fan, man. Like these my peers, man. You know what I mean? First time I heard about Jay-Z, he was goddamn with JD on JD's song. That was the first time I heard about JD. I ain't know nothing about no Jay-Z. You know what I mean? Right. And to me, JD was gonna be bigger than him any day of the week. I don't care what you're talking about. You know what I mean? The man that did Mariah, this, that, and the other, this, that, and the other. But as you see, Dallas Austin, first from the South that was doing Madonna and all that. Hey, man, they treat him the same way, man. How Puffy them bigger than Dallas Austin? Dallas Austin put Puffy on.
Yeah.
Dallas Austin was the one that took Puffy to Clive to get his deal. How South gonna do? You know how we gonna do. We open-hearted, we cool.
Show love. Yep.
You know what I mean?
We're gonna put you in a position.
Yeah, you know, we don't never be tripping. We do out the heart. You cool, we cool. You know what I mean? I ain't tripping. But hey, man, look at the game though. They from New York. They bigger than Dallas. These folk over here, they bigger than this. That's all my shit. And a lot of people don't like it because see, I tell her how I've been talking like this since day one. So this is why Zex didn't like me. This is why certain didn't like me, because guess what? Gippy come from a dad and a mama. Ain't nobody in the music business I ever looked at as somebody like a father figure. You know? And you gotta look. These men are very, very aware of that kind of thing. That's what they want. They want the DJ Khaled's, man. And I ain't dissing DJ Khaled. I'm just saying. They want that. That's what they want. They want you to come in. You the best, you the best, you the best, you the best. Give me $2. Well, see, I can't never do that with this industry because I always came in like, I'm representing this side. Get me off top, so I ain't never gonna be friends. I let you young be friends. Gippy gonna hold the line for the South. Hey man, when we came in, we stood on our side of the street. Them stood over there. At the end of the day, I don't mix nothing. I don't trip off nothing. But at the end of the day, bro, I ain't with that bowing down. I ain't with that. Yeah. Because I know in New York, this is what New York did. When New York came in, they changed the game. We start beating them, selling more records. Okay, now New York start getting paid for their videos. Now they getting shoe deals. They getting all the shit. They getting all the shit. You know what I mean? We ain't never got no shoe deals. As fly as we been the whole time. They never came and gave us none of that extra shit that the other talk about and do. Because we weren't from up there. We go to the West Coast, you know. First time we ever did a record with goddamn, I'm gonna tell you how us and Mac 10 met. He got in contact with our folk. Boom, man, we went to go meet Mac 10. It was like doing a drug deal. It was like you walking into a room, Mac sitting there with a bulletproof vest on, guns everywhere, and it's like, yeah, what's up? What's happening? We gonna do a song or what, cuz? You know what I mean? What's happening, black? You know what I mean? So you gotta remember, them times, it was just gangster shit. We in LA, we doing the Sprite commercial. Africa Bambaataa, Goodie Mob, Fat Joe, Common Sense. Boom, we get there. Fat Joe goddamn showed up with motherfucking Common Sense is there. We in the studio, me, Common got one dude from Chicago with him that's a gangster disciple. Okay, boom. Also, the OG in there, Africa Bambaataa. You know, we all flow. Like, we mean Africa Bambaataa. Like, yeah. We flow right now. We like, woo, Africa, you know, we sub. We like, man, we don't know these folks. This hard. This Africa Bambaataa. So just imagine us sitting there tripping off Africa Bambaataa. Boom, the door opened up. Fat Joe walk in with Mac 10. Mac 10 walk in with the Samoa. He walked through the room. The dude from Chicago with motherfucking goddamn Common Sense, he looking at Mac. Mac looking at him. Mac just stopped and said, yo, homie, where you from? He said, Nick, I'm from the west side of Chicago. Where I'm from, we look every man in their eye. The nigga Mac 10 said, oh yeah? Well, let me tell you, let me let you know something. He said, I'm from the West Coast, and you gonna lose. And boy, them Samoans walk from Mac, pick that boy up, start whooping that boy out there, man, in the middle of the street, in front of Beverly Center, man. I'm whooping this boy, man. You know what I mean? So, boom, Fat Joe jump in the middle. Boom, we gotta stop this shit, man. No, cut it out, boom. He stopped Mac and Common from getting into an altercation. But the boy homeboy got wiped that night, man. Hey man, like I'm telling y'all, bro, LA back in them days used to be,
I believe it, man. I believe it.
Like so off the chain. Like when you look at movies like Old Dog and them kind of characters, man, just imagine a city full of them type. Like we would just go to the Beverly Center, a car pull up and be like, "Yo, cuz, what section you from, cuz?" And they be like, "Huh?" We be like, "Man, we from Atlanta, Georgia. We from the South." As soon as we start talking, be like, "Oh, cuz, them there from the we got family in Mississippi. What's happening?" You know what I mean? West Coast with South, period. Cause they grandmamas from the West, they either gonna be from St. Louis, Chicago, or they gonna be from Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And most of the time, cause that's what Daz and Snoop from Mississippi. They folk from Mississippi. So it's like that's what I'm saying. Like that's what saved us during the time, man. Like our music saved us. It really did. Like being out there amongst all that gangster. Once Pop crunk that man, it was shootings every night. Man, we'll go to the club. We'll see old dirty bastard fight. Like LA was just wild. Like, and then that's when LA used to stay open to 5 in the morning. LA stopped staying open once our album came out, the first album. That's when they shut LA down. That's when LA started being 2 in the morning. You know what I mean? Yep. We had never seen that before. So that's what I'm saying. Like the music business and just the records was changing. The atmosphere was changing. The executives were starting to make more money. The police, the feds, man, like, bro, we became targets, man. Around us getting killed. People around us running up in the house, raping and all kind of shit. One night they tried to put a hit out on Dre. We went in Dre neighborhood, in 3000 neighborhood, man. We heard early in the day, man, like some came in town gonna goddamn kidnap 3000 for some money. You know, we like shit. What's this is everybody got guns in the South. These crazy.
Yeah.
Man, we had a whole army waiting on these in the woods, man. But that's what I'm saying. Like during them times, man, just imagine being young. Ain't nobody gave you no manual on fame. You know what I mean? Like fame, kids, women, all that kind of shit. But, you know, at the same time, trying to keep your message. Because you seeing that around you, the world changing and everybody getting into this shiny suit. Man, once Puff came with Mace, the world was hooked.
That was it.
You know, once he did, what was the song he did with him and Mace was on the golf course?
More money, more problems.
Yeah, it just seemed like Bad Boy just went to another level, man. Like
they took off.
Just imagine trying to. They did, man, and just imagine trying to stay in the midst of that with content.
It had to be tough because it went from, you know, like you said, like conscious and having content, having a message, and having your different style. So now it's back to, you know, shucking and jiving again. Yeah, it's back to shucking and jiving and everything. Like Mace had balls, he could spit, but that's not. If you're not a real hip hop head, you really want to know that. You'll know him from the shucking and jiving with Puff next to him, and that's what it'd be known for. So you did send me something. You did send me you sent me some records that I checked out and I played them actually. And on the P song, which I think is a dope song, that it definitely goes with what's going on, you know, in Minnesota, Atlanta, down here in Tampa, you know, a lot of the protests and riots and stuff jumping off. You said something in your bars. You said, tell his mama that her son going next to the pen or the graveyard. What would you say to prevent that from happening to these young cats out here now?
It's a real strange culture out here right now, man. Cause the gang life has goddamn taken a hold everywhere, man. You know what I mean?
Right.
At one time, you ain't see that down in the South, you know what I mean? So the gang culture out here, this new sexual young millennium culture of everything, you know, and on top of that, you got the whole scamming culture. You know, these kids really came up. That's what I'm understanding why we might be old school to because they've been on some whole other type, you know what I mean? On some illegal shit. They've been on a whole nother type goddamn card. So, you know, I would just say this. Everything that we talked about in cell therapy, we are now living in. Right. Drones in the air, cameras on every block in neighborhoods. Now we doing quarantines and curfews, man.
Face mask.
And I would say this, man. I would just say this, man. If you ain't ready to do the time for whatever you involved with, this ain't the time to be in jail. Cause I get the videos. Just hit me with some videos a day ago about the prison down in Macon, Georgia, where they in there just gas, like, you know what I mean? So you gotta understand, being in prison right now is anarchy, cause everything you can get on the street, you can get in prison now. So now it's got big screen TVs playing games off in that man. Like,
you ain't even lying though. Cell phones, YouTube channels, and all that.
I mean, out here, man. If you got a phone and you working this and you got your YouTube, Facebook, and all that's going, man, you in the free world. You just on quarantine. That's what they trying to get the world to live on now. So what they really missing, if they can look at the world stars and the fly heights and all the shit going on, they like, oh, I know what's going on out there.
Right.
At one time you didn't know. So, but I'm saying though, I would just tell the youngin that your possibilities of getting out them situations are getting slimmer and slimmer, man, because it's getting more and treacherous as in jail, man. Like stabbing up his own ass, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and a lot of the people that I goddamn grew up with and kicked it with, you know, they coming home now. I got to say, shout out to my Miami Bo, man. He coming home, man. Miami Bo coming home from Miami, man. One of the biggest, man. He'll be home soon. Like, so my thing, and people don't know, man, the Georgia, Florida thing, this go back to the 80s, man. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Convertible Burt stayed in East Point, man. I've been seeing Convertible Burt. I've been seeing that Miami, man, that Florida boy swag, man.
Well, one thing that I did observe about you, you know, as an artist and your style is you got like this cool grown man pimp type player, you know, kind of style with it. Like taking the song like Stepping Out you did with Pat, you know, like that song had like, you know, you get your style on, you stepping out. And now you got the new song coming that's out now with Tow Cars, The Time Is Right. And the sample on that thing, I don't know who idea that was, but what was your reaction the first time they say, Gip, we want you to drop something on this beat right here. What was your reaction when you heard the beat to The Time Is Right?
I ain't gonna tell y'all no lie. See, I've been in and out of Atlanta for 5 years now, cause you know I stay in LA too. So I'm in and out of LA. I'm in my LA shit. So just imagine me coming home and Tow Cars like, come on, give it, man. Come on, man. Just goddamn come with me. And you know, for a while, guys, like I just stopped rapping. Like I'm just like, man, I'm cool, man. You know, we went and did the new Goodie Mob album. We did a Goodie Mob show on TBS. And when Shawty caught the voice, he was reinvented. You know what I mean? Where we went from around doing these shows to $3 million, $6 million a year to sit somewhere for 8 hours. You know what I mean? So you got to realize that too. We went from just trying to figure out what we doing to, hey man, y'all want to come to New York? Y'all want to come to LA and try this new show out called The Voice? You know, what else? I mean, you ain't got shit else to do. And we moved to LA on some just like, man, you know, this might be some little bullshit. You know, we gonna knock this out, be back in Atlanta in the month. We did the first little season, you know, it was like a small production. We thinking, you know, of course we seeing Adam Levine, like, okay, we know Adam Levine, whoa, rock star. Christina Aguilera, you know, we knowing her, you know, and the country dude, we really didn't really know Blake. So we kind of were like, you know, this shit work, might not work. Well, boom, we do the first season. That motherfucker turned. People will never understand that CeeLo went diamond in TV with that shit. That went from 1,800,000 audience to the second season every fucking Monday night. That was 18 million people looking at that shit. So we went from the first season where we was recording the show in Prince Club in LA to now we on the Hollywood goddamn set. This motherfucker 18 million. We like, damn. The budget that went up through the roof like we ain't never seen. Shawty never made no money making music like he made like that. 20 million in 1 year. That's off TV. So just imagine, you know what I mean? I'm just saying just the different levels of now you have a guy that has been in the business for 20 years in the middle of America and fell in love with him. When he was just supposed to be the token rapper that people didn't know knew music as good as he did, and he got on there and he became the star because he knew music better than Adam Levine and Christina Aguilera and Blake. And he became the international star. And it's like, yo, imagine that, bro. Imagine taking over Hollywood after being in the game 20 years. You ain't even never been in Hollywood with a record this big, with a situation this big. A record can't do this.
Nah, that's a whole different kind of money and a different type of situation to do this.
Bro, we walking through the airport and old white ladies coming up kissing the man that said free and said that. Come on, man. They didn't even recognize him as a rapper. They didn't even recognize him as a singer.
Nah, that's a singer, man.
It was like they didn't even recognize him as a rapper. They didn't even know he rapped. You know what I mean? So just imagine that we go from that's CeeLo Goodie, that's Gnarls Barkley, you know, because even being on TV, they never equated CeeLo Green as being Gnarls Barkley. It was so different. You know what I mean? Then the character of Gnarls Barkley to this new glamorous big guy with feathers and big old watches and shit on TV, and people being like, "Yo," you know what I mean? Like he was like, for the big guys, he became the big sexy Levert.
He was their new confidence before Bone Crusher took his shirt off.
Come on, man. Understand that from CeeLo being CeeLo, what do you think they turned Khaled into? They had a template. They could see that a big man work on TV, a big man cool.
That's true.
CeeLo did that. You know what I mean?
Yo, Gipp,
This is Tone Kapone
and DJ Spaceship.
And Saturday nights from 10 to midnight, we bring you Waves of the Bay. Right here on WMNF 88.5 Tampa.
With the hottest interviews, the hottest music.
You can submit your music for the Tampa Bay Watch segment at wavesofthebay@gmail.com or follow us on all social media at Waves of the Bay.
Every Saturday, 10 to 12. Make sure you come and ride the wave.
Yes, sir.